Miss Linares, and here we are again to talk about natural ways for a happy body and a hot life. And talking about hot life today, we're going to talk about how can we truly turn us on as a couple, especially when we have kids. Because it's a huge complaint, you know, when I talk to women through Diva Dance and even friends, it's like, oh, you know, we are not the same anymore. I don't have any desire anymore. I don't, and it's okay. You know, we go through these moments because especially when you have little kids, your body's tired, you're not taking a nap. So it's nice to change the definition of what turn you on and not compare with the past and just say, you know what, now I just want to be cuddled and receive a massage and I'll be fine, right? But today I'm going to be revealing, and I invited Trace to be here again, to reveal a Brazilian secret that I was able to kind of bring this part of my culture when I was as a young mom with my little one. And I remember there was a funny story. I have a neighbor, she's still a really good friend. And I love the idea that people have of culture. And so I was, you know, I moved to North Fargo and from Brazil. And one day, you know, she had a little baby and I had a little baby. One day she looked at me and said, Chris, tell me the truth. So when I look at you and I have this idea because you are from Brazil, you know, Brazilian women, that you are having this hot, passionate relationship with your husband. And I'm here, this Norwegian girl with my sweatpants and just like having this boring, you know, relationship. That's how it is. And I remember that time my daughter was like not even 10 months old. And I looked at her and said, honey, I don't know where I'm from anymore. I'm not sleeping through the night. I don't even, you know, passion is the last thing in my dictionary. And I remember she looked at me and said, now we can be friends. And then she hugged me. And we became good friends because she had this idea of a Brazilian woman. And sometimes we have an idea of how our relationship should be. And I just want to make sure with these video blogs that we talked right now, that we posted before, that be careful with expectation that is going to put yourself in your relationship in a position that you cannot be right now. Right, Trace? I don't know, did you feel this when you had, or you had a secret weapon when you had little kids?
No, I think you're right in terms of having to sort of accept where you are, and you understand that when you have small children and babies, you're not going to be in the same place you were when you were first dating, and that's just life. And I think if you expect it to be different, that's when you get really depressed. And I think you realize that there are seasons. What's that song? Turn, turn, turn. There are seasons, and you're going to go through the ebbs and flows. And if you just understand that your relationship is going to survive these times when nobody is sleeping and the baby really does take center stage.
And that's okay. And I like to say that because, you know, you watch sometimes radios and books, you know, people read books about, you know, from psychotherapists. And sometimes I feel can be more damage than good because they keep putting a lot of ideas, you know, why you don't do that. So I like to make clear that these ideas that we are sharing through this blog is not for you to feel like, you know, look yourself and say, oh, I want to have this, you know, apply this in my life. But you gotta look around and see where you are and understand that sometimes, you know, you need to embrace your reality and say, okay, I cannot have this, but I can bring this to my life. And be content with where you are. So if you're having little kids, honey, get a massage, you know, to turn you on. And it's okay to say, like, I remember going to Chicago with my husband when we had little kids and we had all this plan to have this fun night and we were so tired. We ended up ordering room service and being, you know, just having fun and have ice cream that time. And, you know,
that sounds really nice.
You know, it's really nice. Like we talked before, like sometimes you just need to get out of the house but now I'm going to review something that I was sharing before, and I asked Tracy, should I share this? And she was like, yeah. So if you don't like, you blame her. Because coming from another culture, you know, everything, be careful. You don't say this in North Dakota. And you know what? I don't want to offend anybody, which is not my intention. It's just to share my own experience and natural ways that we can truly create a happy body and a hot life, a passionate life that we all deserve, you know.
So it's a Brazilian. It's an ancient Brazilian secret.
Yeah, kind of. But what happened is a lot of women come to me and you know your friends too and say, I don't know how to spice it up my relationship. I don't know how to turn myself on, my husband on. Like I'm tired. And one thing from my culture that we have called motels. And you can ask any Brazilian person that you know, and they know about motels. Motel is not the regular motels that you have here.
Right.
Motels,
Roadside motels.
yeah, is a place that you go just to explore, let's say, and be passionate with your husband.
That's a very politically correct way
Political
to say
correct way to say. So it's a place that you go and it's just, you can stay by the hours. So you say, I want to stay. It's true. You can say 4 or 5 hours. You can order and say, I want a nursing outfit. And you can order and you can, be a nurse that night and have fun.
And so, wait, no, they rent these costumes?
No, you buy.
You have to
you
buy
have a menu.
costume.
You go to the room and the room is all passion. It's all about passion, the room, let's say. You have mirrors, you have, lepers, and, I'm just giving ideas. And then you have a menu of things that you can order that night to enjoy with your husband.
Okay.
So you can say, hey, I want to be like a nurse, and then they send you the outfit.
So like room service.
A room
like
service.
A nurse costume.
Yeah, a passionate room service. So before you start like taking me to inquisitions.
Yeah, inquisition.
And start throwing the stone, hold there, because this sounds maybe weird or, oh my goodness, coming from your point of view, if you were from United States, North Dakota, but I grew up with my parents every Friday saying, Mom and Daddy, we are going to go to a motel, we are going to sleep together, we come back the next day. I have a brother that he has been married for 25 years, and he does that. He, every Saturday, he goes with his wife since they were little kids, and especially when they were little kids. He always finds a sitter and do this. And when I moved here, sometimes you are in your home, and the only thing, that I would think was about, cleaning, my home and changing dirty diapers. And I remember calling my friend from Brazil that she has been living here for 10 years. And I said, I need a motel, which means I need to get out of my house. I need to remember how I used to be. How can I do this? And she said, well, they don't have United States. So that's when I decided to create my own, truly. And that time I had a little kid, and I did in my basement. I got the room in the basement. I put candle lights, and I create that environment that show, okay, now it's gonna be just us. And I shared this with many women through Diva Dance, and I had amazing results of women saying, thank you. That was a way that my husband and I, we get out of the house and we remember what brought us together, the fun, the passion. So how your North Dakota mind received that?
No, I think that's great, because if there's some people that financially are not going to be able to go to a motel, even a couple times a year. So
get a basement or your own room.
Make your bedroom. We were talking about Jody Harvilla doing some dousing in my house for a story I did, and she came into our bedroom and we have pictures of the kids all over, and we've got their art projects and things like that. And she just said, this needs to be an adult zone. This is your space for just the two of you, and the rest of the house is taken over by Barbies and Disney princesses and all the stuff on the refrigerator. And she said, so cordon off that space as your space with your significant other. And I think that's something easy to do, although my kids are going to wonder why the pictures are not hanging up in their bedroom anymore. But I think,
how did you feel when you did that?
I haven't done it.
You haven't done it.
No, Jody told me to do it, and I haven't done it. So, but
Yeah.
I think what you say is true, that you just need to remember that you were a couple first before the kids came along, and that how many couples, when the kids go off to college and you're empty nesters, you sit there and you stare at each other and there's nothing to talk about, because all you ever talk about is the kids. And the best gift you can give your children is to have a good relationship with your significant other. Exactly. They appreciate it when they see you hugging and
it's the
spending
best
time.
I remember when my parents used to say, okay, this is our time. They taught me a beautiful lesson that is okay to make their relationship sacred,
right?
And
didn't you feel secure because you knew
yeah,
my parents love each other and they're together, and I think that's such a good thing for your children to see. And they because anytime if my kids have seen any tension between my husband and I, if there's any bickering or whatever, I can tell they get a little unnerved. And we don't fight a lot, but if there's any that I can see the tension in them. And so to see us taking time to just be us. And they tell us to get a babysitter. When's Kayla coming over?
And one thing that I would like to mention about this motel experience, actually, Reich, for those who don't know, he was a German psychiatrist, and him and Freud, and they were all studying human beings and how our psyche and sexuality play a part in our psychic. And Reich was one of the first one that talked about how can we truly develop a healthy sexual life. And one of the things in his theory is you need to find a place that you kind of get out of the everyday life, and you are able to be completely in that moment. And sometimes your house, the same bedroom, can be difficult. I'm not saying that you need every day to do this, but it's okay. Husbands that are watching, the best thing that I hear from women is like, my husband called a sitter and surprised me, took me out, and sometimes you just go for a glass of wine,
right,
and you come home and you just remember what brought you guys together. So like Tracy said, if you cannot go to a motel and do something fun, doing like in the basement or your own bedroom, but it's really important to say, hey, time out. We need time for ourselves.
Even if it's a coffee date for 2 hours.
And just to finish, I had a woman that she was always saying that she didn't have time. That her and her husband they were workaholic, really busy. So I want to talk to her about our foundation, the Diva Connection Foundation. So I called her and I said, the only time that I can meet you to talk about this is 6:30 Thursday for dinner. Can we meet for dinner? And she said, oh, of course. So then I told her, so this time actually you're not meeting me. You are calling your husband and make an appointment with him, because you open your schedule for a business meeting with me. Why you don't do this for yourself, for your husband, for your life? And that's when she was like, oh my goodness, it's so true. So, okay, here you go, a Brazilian tip. Secret, let's say secret, but if you ask any Brazilian, we all know that. And like I said, I didn't come up with this because, it's because one day I was in that situation of being a mom with a young kids and completely losing myself and who I was, and even forgetting how fun I used to be. Because it's true, we go through moments, right, that we forget how fun and we forget what turns us on. And it's so important to never forget that. Right?
Right.
So thank you so much. And you can contact me at Chris@NatriDiva.com. Go to our Facebook, NatriDiva. Like us, please. And if you do this, we are getting a Diva Dance DVD today. Okay? And you can write a comment of what you think about this video. Be kind. Well, I go to therapy this week though. So yeah, you bring it on, suggestion. And you can write a comment, and you can win a DVD today. Okay, thank you so much and have a wonderful, passionate day.